It was the kind of August day that hinted... Let's try that one more time. So dry. Hey book nerds, Margot from Team Epic Reads here, and it's time for another list video. So next time you are like in the mood for something new and you happen to be in your local Barnes & Noble, check on over to the young adult section and see if you can find our display where we have a shelf full of books that feature the best first lines in YA. Why? Because first impressions matter, and the first sentences in books matter, because that sentence could set the tone for the entire book. That first sentence could be the one that like makes or breaks whether or not you want to read it, or you're just gonna like put it on your TBR pile, say you're gonna read it, and eventually never get around to it. That first line, it's super, super important. And these 10 books have some of the best opening lines I've ever read. Let's count them down. I didn't put these in any particular order, so one isn't better than the others. That's just how I stacked them when I was doing this video. So anyway, number 10 is Symptoms of Being Human by Jeff Garvin. This is a contemporary novel about a character that is gender fluid. And the first sentence is, the first thing you're going to want to know about me is, am I a boy or am I a girl? Number 9 is Dumplin by Julie Murphy, about a fat and fabulous girl who decides to enter a beauty pageant. And the opening line is, I feel like I'm like announcing like an award or something. And the first line is, all the best things in life have started with a Dolly Parton song. That is 100% true. I also love 9 to 5. That is my favorite Dolly Parton song. Or Jolene. Oh god, there's just too many Dolly Parton songs. If you haven't listened to Dolly Parton, just stop what you're doing right now and go listen to all of Dolly Parton's songs, and then read Dumplin by Julie Murphy, because there's a lot of Dolly Parton references in here. Number 8 is The Lifeboat Clique by Kathy Parks. And this one is about a bunch of teens that get washed out to sea because a tsunami comes and hits, and this girl is stuck on this lifeboat with all of her enemies, basically. It's very funny, and very dark, but very funny. And the first line is, Trevor Dunham talked quite a bit about his man part just before he drowned. Number 7 is an epic fantasy novel called Truthwitch by Susan Dennard, and this one is about a truthwitch, which is somebody who can tell the difference between the truth and a lie, which is basically like my mom. My mother is a truthwitch. And the first line is, everything had gone horribly wrong. Number 6 is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld, which is an epic dystopian novel that has been out for quite some time now, but still one of my favorite dystopian novels. And the opening line for this one, I always want to read in a very pleasant, soothing voice. The early summer sky was the color of cat vomit. Number 5 is one of my all-time favorite contemporary novels, and it comes to us from Australia and in this adorable tiny book version. I mean, let's take a look. Like, here's Truthwitch, here's Jellicoe Road. So cute. It's Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta. I like literally will never stop pushing this book on people. And the opening sentence is, my father took 132 minutes to die. My 4th favorite opening line in YA comes to us from Fake ID by Lamar Giles, and this book is about a guy who goes into the witness protection program. And the first line is, this is how you get your ass kicked. Number 3 is The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Heilig, and this opening line is like one of those ones that you kind of like, you read it once and you're like, okay, but then you're like, wait, there was something like odd about that, and then you go back and read it again, and you're like, clever, so clever. And the opening line is, it was the kind of August day that hinted at monsoons, and the year was 1774, though not for very much longer. I love that sentence, even though it's hard to say for some reason. It's not really that hard. I just thought it was hard. Number 2 is Shatter by Tahira Mafi, and this one goes down as my favorite dystopian romance of all time because this series is super sexy. And the opening line of this one, I don't know why I said it was sexy because the opening line is definitely not sexy, but I've been locked up for 264 days. Okay, so it's not exactly like the sexiest opening line, but it is one of the most powerful and just in your face first lines in YA, which is why it's on this list. And the number one best first line in YA is from Feed by M.T. Anderson. Oh, I just found a photo in my book. I was kind of looking for that a couple of weeks ago. Do you guys ever do that? Do you guys ever like use random things for bookmarks because you don't have a regular bookmark and you don't want to dog-ear the page, and then you completely forget about it, and then like you pick up the book like years later and you're like flipping through and you're like, oh, that's where my like gift certificate went. Anyway, back to the number one first sentence, which is from Feed, and the first sentence is, we went to the moon to have fun, but the moon turned out to completely suck. I love that line. Oh, it's just, I don't know. It's so good. It says a lot about the style, the writing style, and just, oh, what's to come. And if you haven't read the series, you definitely should. It's an oldie, but still so amazing and definitely worth your time. That's it for this list video. Head down to the comments below and tell me what are your favorite first lines in YA. I can't wait to see what you guys think. And if you ever need a new book, just head on over to Barnes & Noble, find our Epic Reads little display, and pick up one of these amazing books that have amazing opening lines. Ta-da! It all just fell. Until next time, book nerds.